Hello, hello, hello again, and welcome back. Really, I just went on for 40 minutes doing this same video in Spanish. Now I start doing the Spanish English version. This is gonna be shorter, hopefully. Every time I said that, I go on for longer. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and share this information with everyone else in Puerto Rico and also around the whole world, because this also concerns all of us around the world. We are living in the same island, being the space, the water. Just making that up. So today, the title here, I mean, it probably gonna make you go crazy. But what I'm going to unveil to you is gonna make so much sense that now I understand why the politics in Puerto Rico is the way it is. So you know, the newspapers, reporters, they're supposed to be doing research of everything before they report something, or they go out in a news conference and they just ask questions and do a follow-up questions to the, in our case, the dictator of Puerto Rico, meaning the governor of Puerto Rico, Pedro Pierluisi. So today I'm gonna talk about three different topics, and I will try to keep it short. If you have subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Share this and give us a thumbs up. I don't know, maybe I did that already. Maybe. I don't know. One more time. Don't hurt. Okay, so let's start. So today, on the newspaper, we're going to start with our governor of the island of Puerto Rico, Pedro Pierluisi. So in today's, I'm gonna do the translation. Bear with me 1 second. We found the governor defends the constitutionality of the executive orders in the lawsuit brought by Project Dignidad. So we're going to read the first line. It says, lawyers of the Department of Justice maintain that legislators Leslie Burgos Muñiz and Joan Rodriguez Bebe do not have legal standing, and that Governor Pedro Pierluisi act under Law 20-2017. And this is something because when the emergency acts reacts, or it was implemented by our president of the United States, due to this is still a territory of the United States, the governors in the different states and the territories, they had the power. They had the power, and like I've been saying here over and over, that power, if it's not controlled, it can really, really take away your freedoms. And this is something that in his mind, he's probably thinking, I'm doing the right thing. But we have two people here, two women's, by the way, they are talking and they're saying something in return, and they did a lawsuit. So if we go lower down here on the news, there he is, the dictator. I'm sorry, the governor of Puerto Rico. And let's just read here one more paragraph to move on to the next topic, because I will try to really crunch all this information quickly for all of us. So here it says, the lawyers of the Department of Justice took refuge in a series of alleged errors of law to ask Judge Alfonso Martinez Vanetti that he should dismiss the legal appeals presented by the legislators of the Dignity Project, Joan Rodriguez and Bebe Veve and Leslie Burgos, who have challenged the constitutionality of executive order in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. Listen, I just had my lunch. My English is around here somewhere. I'm gonna grab it and continue doing this correctly, but bear with me with this pronunciation. I really suck on that part. I'm like so bad at it. So I'm being saying here to the politicians of the other parties in Puerto Rico what is going on with all this craziness going on with the pandemic and all this mandates and all this stuff. And I haven't heard from them. And I look at the newspaper every single day to see, oh, wow, now we have here someone. But today we had two heroes that is speaking out and they did a lawsuit against the government. In this particular spot, you guys not really are doing something that should be bad, because if you think there's something, it doesn't sound right, we should spoke or say something. But on the constitutionality, in this case, he has the power, and it's nothing that we can do it in that part. So one thing that I've been saying over and over again is that there are other areas that right now the administration of the PNP is weak. And for example, I mentioned it before on the health department. So let me talk one more paragraph here, and then we're going to move to the health department. In summary, Senator Rodriguez Bebe and Representative Burgos Muñiz maintain that the governor Pierluisi usurps powers from the legislative assembly by continuing to signing executive orders, and therefore violates the doctrine of separation of powers. They also accuse him of governing by decree and violating law 76-2000, known as the Law of Procedures of Emergency Situation or Events. So the judge here, reading at the Constitution, is nothing that you can do. You know, if he uphold what is in the Constitution, he is within his right to do that. It's a good thing that you guys brought that up. Listen, I'm not a lawyer. You know, it's good because it maintains that person on check. You know, it doesn't give him the leeway to do whatever he wants. He's not a dictator. I make fun of him being a dictator here, but he's not a son of Fidel Castro. Put it that way. He is only doing what he thinks that is the best thing for Puerto Rico, because he's following, in my opinion, some different models, like, for example, California, New Jersey, Connecticut, or New York. And that's what he's using here. You know, even that he could have just used another state like Florida and other state that stay open, Dakota, that stay open through the pandemic. So what we're seeing here is that under the Constitution, you know, he's untouchable on that part, because by the Emergency Act, it protects him. But there are other weakness that we need to discuss, that we need to bring it up here. And the weakness are with this, the Department of Health. And I know this might sound something for you to be like, oh, I don't want to touch that. Maybe I get canceled. No, this is the point and the part that he is weak. Here in this channel, I've been talking and saying it through this mic and through this channel, small channel, maybe 20 views at the most. So through this channel, I've been pushing this information because for me, when he started the school on the January 22nd, something didn't sound right. So I went, me, and I explained before my background, numbers, civil engineering courses. Something wasn't sounding right, and I went before I start talking about something because I don't want to talking about like now. I can't talk about Dominican Republic. I don't know what is going on in Dominican Republic. I'm here now, and I can find out this information. So when I went to the website and I look it up, and I'm giving my thumbs up to the way they have it presented and everything. But then I start looking at the numbers and mathematically looking at them, I said, this is calculated wrong. So I start doing the calculation with the average daily average debt ratio from the start point until now, and I knew certain days they were becoming with 24 and 17, and I'm like, whoever is putting this number in here is something is wrong. I mean, the calculations or the equation they have in here is not the right one. So I explained it here. I did some videos before and I show it and I said it, this is, it should be around 5.75. And with the recent dates, it's probably close to 6 daily rate since 23 months since this start on March 17 on 2020. So here, this is Representative Bebe and Senator Representative Bebe, Leslie Burgos, and Joan Rodriguez Bebe. This is the place that we have the part that we can say, wait a second, why we're doing all this craziness when on 23 months, we only had 9 kids that passed away, and you started the school on the 22nd of January. How can you back that up? That is the place that we need to look, because the percentage out of the average in that group of population of around 600,000, around 602,097, the percentage of that in that group it's 0.0014. And I had another videos that I go in depth with this and I explained it. And then on the population that go to work 20 to 59, I explained here that's only 0.06. That is where you need to look in and to see really what it went wrong with this. Because we already have 23 months and the debt on this group are like zero, has no value. And now in today's, you're telling me in today's news that you are evaluating the updates of CDC guidelines on the Mac usage. So we don't have brains. That's what he tells to me. I had to go to another place to look it up how they're doing this stuff because I don't have the brains cells. We got to understand this guy just came out of the hospital. Thank God he's doing better now. But this is ridiculous. In Puerto Rico, one thing that I've been trying to tell people is our immune system is strong. Look at the data. It's there for something, not just to continue listening to our politicians, because if we continue doing that, we become slaves of the politicians. Because whatever they say it is what is right, and we're going to continue doing that. And we're not going to do that in this channel. We're going to come and we're going to bring information. We're going to show information, and then we're going to question it. Because we are not just going to take it like it is. And today's, when I go on with the news and the big news, you got to leave it for the last because, it's the big news. I give you the big news in the beginning and then you're gone. When we go to the big news, you're going to be like, oh, now I understand a little more what is going on after all this cloud. Oh, lies. So here I'm showing you how incompetent they're becoming, because now we have 23 months to work on, and other politicians are fighting the fight and the wrong front. As simple as that. You don't attack I don't attack a big guy 6'2" head on. Man, I try to grab it bad, get him on the knees or something. This is hypothetically. This is, imagine if you go head on to something. Don't do it when they have the power. Do it when they are really weak. And here is where they are completely weak. So that is my advice to you. I don't know what political party you belong. Not running for any political party or affiliations, nothing in here. Just bringing this information because I believe this information is not getting out there. And I'm going to continue. And I'll see, if you see this channel, Sunday is the day that I really take it easy. It's a Sunday. It's a church day and the God and the cenaculo. And we take it easy on Sundays. But from Monday to Saturday, I'm going to continue coming back over again. Even if I get 10 views, for all of you 10 views, I will continue doing this. So this is the spot that they are weak in this administration. But when I see and I hear all that, and I go into the Nuevo Dia, and I look, there is a news very interesting here. And this has a lot to do with the main news that I bring it to you today. So, for all of you, those of you, sorry about that, they don't know a lot about my story. I spent 10 years in Texas. So, Texas, look at this. This is the newspaper, ND. Texas sues Facebook parent company for collecting biometric data despite lawsuit in several European countries. Meta, Facebook, Meta, they changed their name, continue to store eye image, voice recording, fingerprints, or facial prints in the United States. So Texas, here, the Attorney General is suing Meta. And it's accusing them for collecting this information on Texans, commercial purposes, without their consent. And this part of this conversation, I want you to keep it in your mind because we're going to come back to that. Without his consent. So they're fighting for the people, and that's good. That's why you have your representative, the Senate, and all the representatives to go out there and represent you, because you are so busy working, taking care of the family, baseball, and everything else, and you say, I don't have time to do that, and you vote for whoever you think is go around your values, and he goes and represents you. What the Texas did was awesome, but at the same time, for me, when I go to my real news today, they are so hypocritical, because from one part they're doing this, but in today's news, it's like, how can I say this in a way that you can understand. I don't know if you from the farm. Here I'm in the farm line pretty much. So we have here plantains and bananas. It grows on the bananas trees. So when you go silently and look at the neighbor and you say, I want some of that banana. So what you do is you go when the neighbor is doing his yard or whatever. No, you wait until he's probably asleep. And then you squeeze or you go and silent and get the banana and you go your own life, So this is what it's really happening with this, because they are doing something to us while this war is happening, and they're doing this and nobody is putting it out there like it's a big deal. And I'll tell you, it is a big deal. And you know why this is a big deal? And this one I didn't have to do a translation because in English, from Forbes, February 24, 2022. A national vaccine pass has quietly rolled out, and red states are getting on board. You know what is red state? Texas is a red state. So I just show you on the newspaper today that they're suing Facebook and Meta, but here they're in cahoots with this new thing. They're gonna put it out there. And let's just read this. This is from Susan Rowat Keller. I think I'm gonna put the link down for the whole news. That way you can just read it. And this is it. This is the new barcode COVID-19 vaccination. Even that we know, even as the Omicron variant loosens its grips on the world, destinations continue to require travelers to show proof of vaccination, and increasingly a paper CDC vaccination card is not cutting it. So they did this because the other one is not cutting up. And I'm reading to this and you'll be like, yo, we're in Puerto Rico. What does this have to do with Puerto Rico? So this is the map back there. I don't know if you guys seen it in certain places, but this is the part that it really, really, I'm saying like, wow. I've been calling the governor of Puerto Rico a dictator and be making fun and saying I'm sorry, back and forward, whatever. But in reality, people they do this when they are in power, they are complete dictators, and we gotta call it out like it is. While the United States government has not issued a federal digital vaccine pass, a national standard has nevertheless emerged. Today, 21 states, look at this, 21 states, we are 50, 21 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico, after accessively to the smart health card. Now I get it. Even that I've been calling out and I've been saying over and over again, we need to wake up, and I've been just doing videos here, and all I can think is like, how? It's like you are on the desert island screaming, pick me up, please. And nobody's listening at you because you're by yourself. But we are not. Today I show you that we have two representatives, one from the Senate and one from the House, that they are fighting, and we are not alone in this. So when I find out they're rolling this out on the whole big deal with Ukraine and Russia is going on, and all the eyes, ears, all the attention, the prayers and everything, Boom. Here it goes. This is like a nuclear big thing for all of us. What are we doing? In Puerto Rico, there's one word that I mentioned it to you before. And here it's like, oh, when Texas was fighting and suing this company, there was a word that I said to you to keep it in your head. It was without their consent. Here in Puerto Rico, they've given the consent already. If you see it on the vaccination chart on the Department of Health, it's more than 94% already vaccinated. There was no, I'm gonna talk about again this because it is already done. Most of the people agree on it and they just wanted to continue with their life. So now we have this going, and what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is already there. They're already signing for all this. And we keep it ourselves in chain. But now we have a new master. So the new master for all of us now, sorry about the freezing camera, it's been on for a long time. Now the situation here is okay, sorry about that. The situation here is that now we have a new master. Yes, we have a new master. Politicians do things on the dark and don't tell us. They just go along with this. And big companies are in cahoots with this. All these pharmaceuticals, all these pharmacies, a big chunk of people are with this. I'm gonna leave the links for the news. Go ahead, review them, look it up, had time, read them, share this, and enjoy life. Because now I say here, we're gonna do a countdown because we're gonna do a celebration, 34 days, and that's it. We're done with this craziness. Now I'm gonna start taking my wife to the restaurant, and she's like probably listening right now, and she's like, yeah, I want that too. But that's it. If you're not vaccinated, you don't have an ID, and all the different restaurants and commercial in the island went along with this. And this is discrimination on the big major leagues. You know, they're ethical on this part by the medicine. Even the doctor asks you, they don't force you. Oh, this is what's good for you for cancer. Will you take it or not? It's your decision. It was always like that. Our decision to take something or not to take something. And now they just put us into chain, put us into groups. And now they're gonna do this pass. And now we're saying nothing about it. And we keeping ourselves shut. So continue looking for the ones that are fighting for you. Because right now, we don't have so many people fighting for our freedoms. Something so simple, freedom. And they're putting us back in chain. Like it or not, that is what's going on in Puerto Rico right now. If you like the video, please like us, share it, and subscribe to the channel. From Villalba, Puerto Rico, Efraín Rodríguez Jr. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.